Feminism to me, and feminism broadly, is the pushing of an egalitarian society based around the equality of men and women.
Is that the most generous definition that you give it?
That's the most generous one I could possibly give.
So you don't you don't think that, I'm assuming you don't think that men and women are equal, correct?
No.
Okay, which is okay.
No, I don't.
It's okay.
I don't think that egalitarianism is true. I don't think that equality is real. I don't think any of those things are true. I don't think any of them are true.
Do you think equality should be real?
No.
Who do you think is?
I don't even think it's possible. Do you want me to tell you how far it knows? As far it knows what.
Oh God, feminism has really ruined the modern women's mind. Okay, are men and women equal? No. Physically, psychologically, we are different. Are we equal in terms of human value? Absolutely. A man and a woman is completely equal when it comes to human value. But are we physically and psychologically equal? No, we are not. We are completely different. So the idea that men and women are equal, which is what feminism tells us, it's absolutely incorrect. Now, you would think this would be an obvious fact. You would think this fact would be so obvious that no one would dispute it. No one in their right mind would look at a man and a woman and say that these two are equal. I mean, physically, completely different. A woman has breasts, a man doesn't. A woman can give birth, a man can't. Men have, bigger bone density, more bone density than a woman does. All these differences, all right? So we can, just by looking at men and women, we can see that men and women are completely different. Psychologically, women are more emotional. Men are not as emotional as women are, all right? You're completely different, all right? You would think that this would be obvious, but it's not. Reality is no longer obvious to modern women. And that's credit to feminism. Feminism has indoctrinated women to the point that they no longer recognize reality. They no longer recognize reality. Simple biological reality. They don't recognize it. All right. And this is, and what I'm trying to get to today is I'm trying to answer why is that? All right. Because this video is really about Andrew Wilson. He brought up a very important point. If we are not equal, because men are stronger, then that means you need men in order to enforce the very rights that you enjoy. The very rights that women enjoy. Women need men to protect them from other men in order for them to enjoy those rights. The fact that they need us to protect those rights, to enforce those rights, it's proof that men and women are not equal. But look at the mental gymnastics. Look at the pushback from women. All right? This is the modern women mentality, guys. This is how modern women think. They don't live in reality. Let's just carry on with the reaction.
What I'm about to say, but I can tell you how. I can tell you how men and women can't be equal. You want me to tell you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
If you are to look at force in society, who would you say has the monopoly on force, men or women?
Men on brute men.
The monopoly. I'm just talking about the monopoly.
They're the stronger ones.
I feel like things are set up for men. But
can you indicate a time in history ever, in the history of all of mankind, where men didn't have the monopoly on force?
On force as in like physical force though, correct?
Look at the mental gymnastics. He's obviously talking about physical force. What other force is he talking about? Look, at first she actually admitted it. She said, yeah. She said, men. And then the other woman goes, I think she said something about something about what do you mean by force or something to that effect. Hold on a second.
Always, they're
Physical
always stronger
force.
than
Yeah.
us.
Oh, then yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the biology.
They have them. Can you indicate a time in history ever, in the history of all of mankind, where
Or they're the stronger ones.
I feel like things are set up for men, but
That's what she said. Things are set up for men to what? Be stronger than you? I just want you to recognize and realize the mental gymnastics that a modern woman will the lengths she'll go to in order to deny simple, factual reality, biological reality. Things are set up for men. Who's setting these things up for men? Men? Can't make this up, guys.
can you indicate a time in history ever, in the history of all of mankind, where men didn't have the monopoly on force?
On force, as
Like-
in like physical force, though, correct?
Like
Always, they're
physical
always stronger
force.
than
Yeah.
us.
oh, then yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the biology.
they have the monopoly on physical force. So the question, when you come down to rights, is who can enforce rights? Women can't enforce their own rights. Men have to enforce women's rights. So there can never be real equality. There can
Okay,
never be real
this is-
Literally,
egalitarianism.
what the
Men are.
fuck?
I just want to say, men are a little bit more very. That is like so violent in nature.
What the
Even what you
fuck?
just said, like
Sorry.
every society, of course, you need force, but the fact that you feel like you're in because you're stronger than someone, or you can overpower them, you're more entitled
No,
to some
no,
sort
no,
of
hang on,
thing.
listen, so that you get it real quick. Hang on, just
Okay.
hear me out.
Yeah.
Look at the reaction. Look at the mental gymnastics. Look at how they trying to deviate from the point. Yeah? A woman can't enforce her own rights. How can you enforce your rights against a gender that's stronger than you? You can't. If tomorrow they choose to take away those rights, that's it. It's gone. And there's nothing you can do about it. You can only wish that they didn't do that. Women are literally at the mercy of men. Why? Because men are stronger than women. This is a fact. This is a fact. And look at the reaction. This is what feminism has done to modern women.
Yeah.
Inside of your society,
Okay.
you have rights, right? Those rights need to be enforced, right? So somebody doesn't violate them, right? Who's the enforcement
But
arm?
women's
Women's
usually
rights were
physically.
mostly
It
created
is
though
usually physically.
in response
What
to
do you do
men.
with criminals?
I mean, you put them in jail, but
And
like,
who does that?
There's never been a female officer ever.
I'm not saying there hasn't been, but who does that? Who puts them in jail? And then who guards them while they're in jail?
I mean,
Check the sign language. Check the mocking. Check the mocking. This is how much respect modern women have for the biological reality that the biological reality and the fact that men are the ones who protect their rights, are the ones who enforce their rights. Okay? Check the disrespect. Check the lack of respect for men. Okay? Through shaming language.
And
I don't want to say that because I know women security guards that are
but
fucking rappers in
you
jail.
You're speaking always to the exception. You always look to the outlier. It's not that there can't be some women who are on par with some men. It's that as a monolith.
No, there is no women who is on par with some men. Andrew Wilson shouldn't even been, he shouldn't have even given him that, because that's just not true. There is no woman there isn't, okay? That's on par with some men. That's just nonsense. That is nonsense. There isn't. Men are biologically stronger than women. That's just a fact. All right? So she says because she knows some security guards. She knows some female police officers. Are you serious? Do you think if we had a majority of female police officers, what do you think would happen to crime in society? It would go up. They can't arrest a man. You would just shake them off. Let's not be silly.
Men are the grantors of force, the grantors of rights, and here's how. Whenever you need criminals dealt with in society, it's men who are going to be dealing with the criminals. They're going to be putting them in the jails. They're going to be enforcing your laws. They're going to be protecting you while you sleep through the military and through the force there.
But have we ever given women the opportunity to be in that
the amazing
place?
part. The amazing part is right now they have all that opportunity and they still can't do it. Meaning,
I don't think they do.
Because they're biologically weaker. That's why they still can't do it. This is a fact. All right? Women have all the rights that men have. Women can be police officers. Women can join the army. Women can do all of these things. All right? I wouldn't advise women to do those things because those things are physical in nature. And it can be psychologically exhausting. All right? I don't think those fields are for women. But regardless, men have given them the right to be able to join that via feminism. So even that men have granted them. It's like it's delusional for you to do these. It's delusional for you to join the army. It's delusional for you to be police officer. But guess what we're gonna do? We're still gonna allow you to do so. All right.
Men inside, yes, they do. Where do women have less opportunity to become the enforcement arm than men in society right now? Tell me.
You just said they have a monopoly on force. I don't disagree.
Then
I think
I'm
men
asking-
are protectors, and they like. If I have a husband, he's probably bigger than me. If someone comes to try to fight me, I'm not going to be like, "Oh, hold on, I got this." I'm going to expect my man to handle it.
But that's not my question.
So,
My question is, can women be police officers?
Yes.
Can they be in the
Yes.
military?
Yes.
Okay, can they be the prison guards?
Yes,
Yeah.
but can
Okay,
they
so
do
do they
all the
ever
same
have
things?
less opportunity
Yes.
to be in the enforcement arm?
Because there's people
Yes.
in that employ them that hold up
That's
that
why it's called a
patriarchy.
police-
No,
man.
what happens instead is this.
Because
is
they were
that
only men in the
inside of the
beginning.
military and inside the police force and inside all these different enforcement arms, when you include women, you lower the standard. You lower the standard in order to bring women in. Meaning the female standards in the military.
Physically?
Yes, physically. So
but
the
you need
standard.
nurses.
Yes, you do, because they're physically weaker than men. You know, if you've got someone who's fast and someone who's slow, the one who's slow is going to be slow in the faster one because he has to worry about her. He has to worry about the slow one. The faster one wants to go faster. The faster one wants to get the job. If you have a strong person or the strong gender trying to fight off this, and the weaker gender can't help out because she's weaker, that's reducing the standards. All right. I think even in the army they had to lower the standard just to let women in.
In the military, you need women.
You don't
They're
need
not
them,
helping us, Ramon.
but they are there.
You don't need a nurse in the. You don't need.
You don't need
doctors in the
female
military.
nurses. You could have male nurses.
I'm just going on like more of the traditional values of like.
Yeah, but I'm
almost
just
like-
talking about an equalization of force. Men have an overwhelming amount of power and force. And so women can't actually enforce their rights against men, whereas men can change the conditions almost any time they want based on their will because they have the monopoly of force.
You don't think that's because that's how it's been set up in time and history for them?
If it wasn't for men,
Skiz
though,
Tech, thank you for the gifted hundreds.
Who set that up? She said, do you think that's been set up in time and history for them? Who set that up? Other men? So that would still be men. This is the mental gymnastics that modern women, this is the length that modern women will go to in order to not admit reality. It's crazy. It's crazy.
No, it's not. The reason that it's that way is because men are overwhelmingly physically stronger than women.
who are women's rights protecting us from, though? I'm like a general. Were they protecting women from other women, or women from, as you said, the people who hold the monopoly on brute force?
Well, they're not really protecting anybody from anything because they're an illusion. It's illusory.
But if you were to answer my question, the reason that women felt so strongly,
They didn't feel strongly. The suffragettes were a small portion. Most women did not want the right when I can't even get into this, but most women did not want most of these rights, okay? I can't get into it for TOS reasons, but most women...
That's facts. That's facts. Most women did not want these rights. Those rights, feminism was pushed onto women, okay? Most women did not want these rights. So don't believe in feminism propaganda. Feminism propaganda will tell you that women have been fighting for these rights for... Most women were against it. This was forced on women. Feminism was forced on women.
Even want them.
I'm not disagreeing.
What ended up happening instead was that it was a small collective of very weak men who really pushed through with a lot of money to push feminists and these feminist ideals through. But most women didn't want anything to do with it because, here, let me, if you don't mind, if you'll humor me, let me read these anti-arguments. This is from a original anti-suffrage flyer.
Why were the weak
I am
men
not even a feminist.
Here's what it
supporting
says.
feminism?
Special privileges. Married women are not required to contribute to support of the family. Women may work, earn money, and spend it as she pleases, may own real and personal property and dispose of it or sell it without her husband's knowledge or consent. The list goes on and on and on. Wife may have millions and cut her husband off without a cent. These do not sound like women were treated poorly or that they weren't treated as equals. They were treated as different because...
Which is how they should be treated. All right? You can't treat someone who's not equal to you as equals. Of course, human value, we are all equal in human value, but physically, someone who's... You can't expect a baby to be able to do something that a grown man can do because they are different, The baby's not as strong as... A woman is not as strong as a man. She can't do psychologically, physically, they're completely different. So we have to take those things into account. So you treat someone accordingly. You treat someone appropriately. You don't treat someone... for me to treat you as my equal, it's like, nah, sweetheart, you carry that bag. Nah, sweetheart, you carry that, knowing that I'm more suited for it. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's anti-women. For me to expect a woman to do something that a man has the physical ability to do better than a woman, it is wrong. It's anti-women. It's not right.
They are different.
Agreed.
And so what happened instead was that men had the overwhelming burden of responsibility, and they were forced by society, the enforcement arm, which is other men, to do their duty. And women were not forced to do that. And when we see the societal role being reversed, where women are forced instead to take on roles that require duty, they don't want it. They completely reject it. Like she said, it's basically just all me, me, me. And that's why the roles are so messed up. That's why everything is so reversed. That's why everything is the opposite of what it's supposed to be.
And that's why everything doesn't work. And that's why modern relationships don't work. Why? Because we are not operating in reality. And when you don't operate in reality, you cause an imbalance and you cause problems. All right? God created the world in a certain way. All right, with a certain order. And when we go against that order, this is when we get problems. Okay? And that's what feminism has done. It has created disorder. It has created imbalance. That's it. That's what feminism was put here for. And we can see it. We can see the results of what feminist ideals have basically brought us. The decline in the nuclear family. The nuclear family will cease to exist eventually if we carry on as we are. The birth rate has declined. Over 75 million children are aborted each year worldwide. So, I mean, come on, guys. Yeah? What feminism has brought is anti-women, anti-men, anti-family, anti-life. It's pure destruction. All right? Listen, guys, I hope you enjoyed this reaction. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. If you disagree with anything I said, okay, anything I said, if you disagree with anything I said, please email us so that we can book a time where we can have this debate. All right, like I said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time, guys. Yeah, peace.